What's up? What's up, YouTube? Just getting everything set up here. All right, what's up, Instagram? Instagram's got the front view. So live on YouTube, live on Instagram. By the way, if you're on Instagram, and you don't follow my YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you don't follow my Instagram, go subscribe to my Instagram. And now, all that's left is three, two, one. All right, live on Facebook. So, how's everyone doing today? Now, the purpose of this live was to actually, let's see, okay, the purpose of a upcoming online coaching program that I've got in the works, and it's going to be launched in about a month or so. And then at the same time, others that I know and that just want to join and want to know specifically more about fat loss, and it's all fat loss related. So, main demographic that we're aiming for with Beyond Fat Burn is going to be somewhere between 25 and 35 years old. However, obviously there's people of all ranges, so I'd like to welcome them as well. And if you want to join the group, just shoot me a message or anything like that, and shoot me an email, comment, whatever you want, and I'll reply back and send you an invite to the group. So what's up for everyone that's on my Instagram live? It's happening. So check it out. I'm going to be answering some questions. I've got 6 questions here. Again, this was asked from the Facebook group. So 3 of the questions from the Facebook group, 3 questions that I got from a survey. I've got hundreds of questions, but I decided to cover 6 here so that this live doesn't take too long. So let's get started. We're going to jump right in. All I have literally is the questions written down. And I'm just going to go right off what I know because, what's up, Tony? Gaines. So I'm going right off what I know here. These are some pretty basic questions. Again, mostly fat loss related. So let's dive into it. The first one here is asked by Barry, again, a member of our Facebook group. How long should you work out for? He says he's been working out for 40 years. And he's interested in knowing how long he should be working out for. Again, I imagine this pertains to fat loss, but I'm going to cover the whole spectrum here. So I'm also going to try to provide actionable steps as answers to these questions, just so I don't leave you with a blank, like, well, I don't understand, it's all contradicting. I'm going to make it as clear and concise as possible. So how long should you work out for? When it comes to fat loss, muscle gain, those two, there's no real need to work out for more than an hour, okay? Fat burn and weight loss could actually be less than an hour. It could be as little as you want because in reality, the majority of fat loss and weight loss is going to come from diet, nutrition. Hopefully we all know this by now. Working out obviously helps, but there's no need to spend 2 hours in the gym when you could spend 1 hour and then get the rest of that benefit from tweaking your nutrition. So it's a much more effective way of doing it that way. So personally, I don't recommend more than an hour just because past that point, it's not worth the investment of time. If you're a strength athlete or a professional athlete, just any sort of athlete that's competing, then we're obviously looking at differences there. We're going to be looking at longer workout sessions because those workouts entail practicing your craft and conditioning and strength and all the different things combined together. When you're looking at fat loss, honestly, like for example, I'm a coach at Orange Theory. I preach Orange Theory because it is truly an amazing 1 hour workout. Just 1 hour of extremely high intensity, even 15 minutes of very high intensity, we're talking extremely high intensity, is going to jack your heart rate up. It's going to get you burning a lot of calories. So definitely no more than an hour. And that's what I would recommend. Same thing for muscle building. The reason why we work between 8 to 12 reps, it's an efficient way for you to get the amount of volume you need within an hour or so session. I mean, sometimes myself, I'd take an hour and a half to 2 hours, but regardless, what's up, OD? Yeah, beaut. Regardless, what's up, everybody who's joining the live, by the way, and on YouTube as well. I got a like, but nobody's on the live right now. That's cool. So as I said, no need to go crazy. Muscle gain and fat burn, these both kind of fall in the same category. 1 hour or less is all you need, for real. So, especially when it comes to fat burn, talk to me on Facebook. Hope that answers your question, Barry. By the way, if you have questions on any of the lives, just comment them. message me, whatever, and I'll add them to the list. I'll try to make a live video maybe once a week or something like this, okay? Second question, how do I avoid junk food and eat more healthy foods? So this one was asked by Terrell, and he said he's been working out for quite a while now, and he finds that it's just the fat loss that's difficult for him and avoiding junk food. How do you avoid junk food, eat more healthy foods? Now, again, if you've been following me for a while, you'll understand my approach towards nutrition, which is really, it's not the only approach, but it only focuses on the fundamentals. So when we're talking about fundamentals, junk food, and I have a video that I recently posted on YouTube about this. You can check that out. I'll link it in the group. Junk food doesn't really exist. The reason why we label it as junk food is because it's very easy to overeat those foods. You don't have a lot of micronutrients in those foods. Therefore, they're very calorie dense. I can eat 1,000 calories with a burger is no problem. Boom. And it's going to taste amazing. I want another 1,000. Try to eat 1,000 calories worth of veggies. Whole different story. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So the reason being is that veggies have lots of fiber. They've got so many micronutrients, and this is the reason why per calorie, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck, in the sense that you're getting a lot more nutrition packed in within a calorie. So that being said, Tavares for the Leafs, buddy, I'm too jacked up over that. Jesus, who do you support? I'm a Uruguay fan. They just lost yesterday, so I'm looking forward to the Leafs now. I don't care about the World Cup anymore. Anyways, I apologize for that. Getting off on a tangent there. So as I was saying, junk food is labeled as junk food because you can overeat on it. Now what you want to do, actionable step here for you, Terrell, and anybody else watching that's interested in knowing, you don't need to cut out junk foods completely. What you need to start by doing is understand how many calories you're eating, or even how many calories you need to be eating. So figure out how many calories you need to be eating. Again, I've got plenty of videos on this. If you want to know how, I'll answer the question again. Figure that out. From there, you have to figure out how much of those calories you're willing to basically sacrifice towards those foods that you love. Let me give you an example. So you need 1,000 calories to maintain your body weight, okay? Nobody's gonna need 1,000, but let's just say you do. 1,000 calories, and my recommendation is always the 85-15 rule, or the 80-20 rule, meaning make at least 80% of those foods nutrient-dense whole foods. We're talking veggies, we're talking, your oats, your eggs, your things that have nutrition in them. We're not talking brownies, cookies, whatever junk food, chips, burgers, okay? Burger can have some nutrition, but we're trying to stay away from the fattier foods. And that's what you need to determine first. Calories that you need to maintain. Once you determine that, and this is a must, because what you're asking me, how do I avoid junk food? It's like somebody that wants to save money saying, how do I avoid spending so much money? You got to figure out how much you're spending. You got to figure out how much you're making. You got to figure out your profit and loss, right? You got to figure out what your income is, how much you're spending, and where you're spending it. Without knowing these factors, you're guessing. And you're not going to take your body to the next level. You're not going to take it to where you want to be just by guessing. So, something to keep in mind. Calories first. From there, make 80% of those calories, just the majority of them, make them healthier foods. Find foods that you prefer. When it comes to healthy foods, which foods do you prefer? Do you prefer, potatoes over sweet potatoes? Fine. Sweet potato isn't a magic food. Just because I like sweet potato doesn't mean you have to eat it too. Regular potatoes are fine. Okay? Japanese sweet potato, brown rice, white rice, whatever the case is, just find foods that aren't junk foods and fill most of your diet up with that. Okay? Again, after you determine the calories. From there, you can determine, once you get in the habit of tracking and understanding how calories and macros work, from there you can understand, okay, I'm going to sacrifice 200 calories and put it towards this donut. So you're going to understand, you want a donut, guess what? You can have the donut and still lose fat. You don't have to cut it out completely. And chances are, if you cut it out, you're not going to enjoy your diet or your lifestyle as much. So, to finish it off, Terrell, my advice to you is to simply, for now, limit how much you're eating, and you're asking how do you avoid it. Don't avoid it. Just cut back. Don't have 2 donuts, have 1, or have half a donut, or have 1 Timbit instead of 2. Whatever junk food you have, cut the amount you have in half. Replace it with drinking lots of water, micronutrient dense foods, broccoli, spinach, carrots, whatever one you enjoy, sweet potato, regular potato, brown rice, those types of foods, replace it, okay? And my number 1 tip is first find out how many calories you need to maintain your body weight, okay? Although I do know that's probably going to be a question in and of itself. I hope that helps, Terrell. And beyond that, just mental discipline and knowing what you want and actually acting on it, right? There's no magic formula for you to avoid junk food all of a sudden, okay? Something to keep in mind. Question number 3, I don't want this to go too long. It's already about 10, 11 minutes. Question number 3 is from Carol. She wants to know how to tighten up the inner thighs. She mentioned she does a lot of swimming. She works out a lot, and she's been dieting and whatnot. So how to bring up the inner thighs. What you need to do is build muscle, lose the fat. So first things first, to build the muscle inner thighs, you want to develop the legs overall. My go-to exercises for those would be squats. Whether you can do it assisted or non, a squat should be the foundation. From there, if you really want to isolate the inner thighs, if you have access to a machine where you can do the abductors, that's where you're pulling your thighs in and then back out, and it resists as you pull in, also known as good girls. So, in case you didn't know, it's a fun fact. These ones are the bad girls, these are the good girls. Okay. Those ones, if you can have access to the machine, the abductor machine, I would recommend using that machine to build up the muscle in the inner thighs. Use squats, okay, deadlifts, leg press. This is going to build up the quads in that general area. From there, you want to I hate that word, but you want to cut back on the fat. That's going to be mostly diet. But also building the muscle will kind of fill in that area too. So focus on a couple compound exercises like squats and deadlifts and leg press, and then add those isolation exercises in and make sure that you're progressing over time and weight with those exercises. You'll be golden. Okay, from there, keep strict with the diet. Refer to the last question I just answered when it comes to all right, buddy, take care. When it comes to the 80-20 rule or the 85-15 rule, figure out the calories you need, cut them back slightly for a deficit, lose fat, build the muscle, you'll be good to go. Okay, hope that helps, Carol. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I'm going to move on to the 4th question. How long do I need to stay in a caloric deficit in order to lose 10 to 15 pounds without losing motivation? This is a very tough question to answer because, I mean, I can answer the first part, but without losing motivation, that's really hard to determine. If you don't want to lose motivation, there's no way around it. You're going to lose motivation sometimes, but in order to make sure motivation is the strongest, you want to make sure that you have a strong purpose for doing this. People that want to get fit, boom, for a wedding, you're going to be screwed eventually, because what happens after the wedding's over, right? It's like superstars that become superstars after their career, they fall into a severe depression. Why? Because they didn't plan for anything after that. They didn't realize that it's the journey that matters. So figure out the why. Figure out why you're doing it. Why do you want to lose 10 to 15 pounds? That's what you got to figure out first. And if it's just to look good, okay, fine. But attach something that resonates more with you. If you want to look like a Greek god, that's my goal. If your true goal is to look like a Greek god, like nobody, 99% of people don't look like, that's part of my goal. If that's the case, good. That might resonate with you. Go with that. But if you don't have a very strong purpose to lose 10 to 15 pounds, that X factor, I have a online course. If you guys want to check that out, message me. I talk all about this in there. And it's called Fat Loss Nutrition Mastery. So in case you were interested in that, again, let me know. Could change your life. I talk about the X factor. You need something that's going to truly drive you to lose the 10, 15 pounds. How long do you need to be in the caloric deficit for? That's going to depend how fast you decide to lose the fat. If you want to lose fat quick, I don't recommend any more than 2 pounds per week. Any quicker than that, you're moving into crash diet territory. And a crash diet is known as a crash diet for a reason. You're going to crash, okay? So 2 pounds, let's say you're losing 2 pounds as fast as possible. That means if you're losing 10 to 15, let's say 15 pounds is going to take you about 7.5 weeks, let's say 8 weeks of a calorie deficit. So 2 months is calorie deficit. In order to lose 2 pounds, a general recommendation, although it's never black and white, general recommendation is, decrease your calories for maintenance, roughly between 5 to 750 calories a day, and or add cardio to equate roughly the same amount of calories lost on a weekly basis. So you can do 500 calorie deficit a day plus 250 calories of cardio. That'll add up to the same calorie deficit over time. That should get you going. Monitor your weight on the scale. If it's dropping, good. Keep it up. If it's not dropping, you gotta adjust, okay? Lower calories, lower carbs, increase calories maybe. Maybe your metabolism's crashing, you gotta increase calories, increase carbs. Maybe your protein's too low, switch that for some carbs. Maybe you're not doing enough cardio, throw that in. Not enough NEAT, not enough daily activity, throw that in, okay? So let's say on a numeric standpoint, from a logical numeric standpoint, for 10 to 15 pounds, you could do that within 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks, 2 months. Pretty accurately, okay? Question number 5. And you know what? I'm going to finish up with question number 5. It's already about a 16-minute video. After this, I'll save this next question. And again, I'll do another live like this. I got to get better at them. Sorry, it's my first time. Thanks for stopping by, though, if you have. Cheers to you. I appreciate you. And sorry that I'm showing Instagram all the love here. Instagram's right down the middle. Facebook, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, okay? 5th question. Do you need to lose fat before building muscle? The answer is no. But the answer is, the second part of that answer is, but you probably should. So you don't have to lose fat and then gain muscle. But what you should do is prioritize. Because if you want to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, in other words, do what I'm doing, recompositioning. Let's say you're 200 pounds, you want to stay at 200, but over time make it more solid, less fat, more muscle, less fat. It's going to be tough. It's going to be easier to lose motivation because it's going to take a much longer time of seeing very, very, very little changes, okay? So my suggestion to you as a professional coach, as a, not a professional bodybuilder, but a professional Greek sculptor. I'm just kidding. Listen, as my advice, somebody who's been in this for, near a decade now, definitely prioritize one or the other. If you're a male, you're above 15% body fat, I say cut. Cut first, down to at least 12%. Then you can focus on a muscle building phase. Okay, obviously these two phases entail completely different things. If you're a woman and you're above 25% body fat, cut. Aim to lose body fat, aim to get the waist tighter, and then from there you can sculpt and build the muscle on top. Okay, so for example, what I recommended to Carol earlier, go based off that. Carol, are you 25% or more body fat? If so, I recommend you cut back. I recommend you focus mainly on cutting fat first. This is going to tighten up the thighs in the meantime. Focus on cutting fat first, and then from there, build the muscle the way I suggested earlier, with those compounds, with the isolation at the end, the abductors. Okay, so there's a good plan of attack. Anybody else, do you need to lose fat before building muscle? You don't, but you might want to. So just determine, can you see your abs? If you're a male, can you see, like if it's just smooth, cut. You're not lean enough. It's going to be easier for you to put more fat on than muscle. Cut first, then gain. Okay? So for everybody that's commenting on my Instagram and on my YouTube, I'm going to answer those questions. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to answer those questions. So water depletion around show. Check it out. Butterscotch Boss. Water depletion around a show. Go to my YouTube channel. I posted a video that's covering exactly how to do your water, your carb, and your salt manipulation around showtime. Okay, so check that out on my YouTube. And yeah, I would definitely always prioritize either fat burning or muscle building. Prioritize one or the other. Don't go for both. What I'm doing now, I'm doing that for a very limited amount of time to get myself back after a sickness, after losing. I have a recomp real quick, and then I'm going to prioritize one or the other. I'm always moving one direction or the other. I'm never staying the same. That being said, that's all the time we've got today. Sorry that I made this video so long. It's about going on 20 minutes now. I apologize for that, but I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. I hope I was able to answer some important fat burning questions. And, I hope I was able to help some of you out on the Facebook group, on Instagram, questions. Thanks for stopping by, everybody on Instagram, YouTube, same deal. Go ahead and comment below any questions. I'm going to see them after. I'll write them down. I'll cover them for you in another video. If you enjoyed the live videos, if you enjoyed the live streams on YouTube, let me know. I could probably do this once a week, okay? And I'll answer your questions once a week. Facebook, for my group, I'm going to keep adding people. I want you to add your friends that would be interested in fat burning, creating this community. And again, be looking out for the launch of this insane online coaching program. My goal is to change, I'm not even going to say the number of lives because it's just going to happen, and I'm probably going to exceed that amount, okay? Anyways, thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys coming to the Facebook group. Welcome to all of you. Again, invite your friends. Let's build this community. Thanks, Instagram, for everything, for showing up. Thanks for the support, the following. YouTube, you already know. We got that sweet spot for YouTube there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, everyone. Thanks for coming on this live video with me, and I hope I answered your questions, and I hope to keep answering them in the future. That's it. I'm logging off. See you guys later. Let's see how I log off though.